Today we're going to show you how to build a curved wall using Qurve Plate. This is our wood version of Flexi-Track. It's easily shaped by hand just like the Flexi-Track, but now you can use a skill saw to cut it, nail gun to shoot nails. You don't have to use tin snips and a screw gun. So it's regular wood framing tools you can use. Now the first thing you need to do to build a curved wall, just like any other wall, is to lay the curve out on the floor to match your Qurve Plate to. I'm going to draw a 48-inch radius here on the ground. Now here comes the fun part. Qurve Plate comes in a box just like this. It's easy to ship, easy to carry in your pickup truck, doesn't take up a lot of room. They come in 2-foot pieces, just like this. To make it longer than 2 feet, because a 2-foot curve won't do you any good, you slide them together. So after you slide them together, you just take one of these dowels, drive it through this pre-drilled hole, and then that makes it a pivot just like the others. And you can do this as long as you need. Just keep adding 2-foot pieces together until you get whatever length you need. I'm going to put about 3 or 4 of these together. Okay, you're going to love this part. Now you just shape it to match your curve by hand. It can't get much easier than this. So easy. Now just take your nail gun, staple gun, or screw gun with 1¼ inch fasteners. You don't want them longer because they go straight through it. Shoot through the overlapping pivot area, and that locks it. Now you're going to need your top plate. So just take another piece of Qurve Plate, just like you did the other one, and just match it to the original one. Just shoot it like you did the other. Now this is the top plate, so if it's going to be spanning between joists, you may want to nail it or staple it double, and you probably want to flip it over and nail it double, staple it from the back side double, and that way you just got extra strength. But this is actually pretty rigid like this already. Before you raise up the top track, we've already marked them. You put them together and you mark the stud layout on both of them so they're identical and so they match just like you normally do when you're framing, and you mark them both laying on the ground. So this way, the studs will line up exactly all the way around the curve. Okay, now we're going to put the top plate up. And the reason we do it this way, instead of putting both plates down, put studs between it, is you're trying to nail this and the other stud's hanging there in the air. Or if you do it the other way, you put a stud in it and it's rocking, and it's just, you get almost impossible to get all the studs in there. We've tried it both ways, and it's easiest to do it this way, to put the bottom plate, the top plate, and then put the studs in between. Now just shoot this up to your joist. Now if this were a load-bearing wall, you may want to put a double top plate, and you need to make sure your load is directly over your studs. That's called inline framing, because these are not made to carry a load between studs. So you need to make sure a stud is under every joist. And also you may want to put a double top plate, because if you're using pre-cut studs, that way it'll be like all of your other walls, just the same length stud. You can use your pre-cuts on this too. Yes, and you're probably wondering why we're using this Plumb Bob instead of a laser. We do have a laser, but it's not in the shop today where we're filming. But you got to admit, isn't this a beautiful thing? What brass Plumb Bobs, they're beautiful. Now when you locate the 2 tracks, you need to make sure they're plumb with each other. And you'll see this mark, there's a matching mark on the bottom plate also. So you need to drop a Plumb Bob down or plumb up from the bottom mark. Make sure they're perfectly in line with each other, just so that the 2 curves match. And again, here I'm using a finished nailer, and of course in the job you'd use a framing nailer. Okay, this wall is ready to be covered with gyp board or whatever you're going to cover it with. Now, if you're going to, we recommend using any of the brands of high flex gyp board. We don't sell it, but it just saves you a lot of time, bends a lot easier, and you get smoother curves. If this was a tighter radius, you would want to put your studs closer together so that the gyp board would bend smoother and be stronger. Well, I hope you have fun, and I hope it goes well with you building curves with quick Qurve Plate by Flexibility Concepts. Curved walls in a box. What more could you ask for?